Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. With as often as I break from the standard format for my first impressions reviews, it's actually becoming more of a standard now. But regardless of that, I found myself either becoming so unmotivated or purely disinterested in this game within the first hour that I had absolutely no desire to continue, and certainly no mental faculties remaining to be able to provide meaningful commentary during a second initial playthrough so I could actually do a standard first impressions video. So I went and exercised, took a shower, and grabbed some food in order to revitalize my brain to be able to come back to this game fresh. And unfortunately, it wasn't any better after I came back to it. This is Troll and I, a third-person adventure game that somehow blends the platforming and giant companion aspects of The Last Guardian with the crafting and hunting experience of Red Dead Redemption or Far Cry, coupled with some of the worst over-the-shoulder camera shots I've seen in a video game in a long time. Take that giant blend of game mechanics, throw in some Telltale series-style quick-time events for seasoning, toss it all in a pot with indie-level graphics, bring it to a boil, and then package and sell for a titanic $50, and we have a game that, while its graphics might not be up to the level of a AAA or even close to, their greed certainly is every bit as avaricious as the AAA companies. Now, Troll and I starts you off watching a discussion between two men about, yes, you guessed it, the fabled Troll, which, even though the graphics are what I would consider subpar for a $50 title, I still feel they somehow managed to configure their facial animations more effectively than BioWare Montreal's recent efforts, but we'll leave that one for this weekend. Now, the game has you playing as Otto, a young Nordic boy who is sporting dreadlocks for some sort of reason. I learned not to question too much in this game, otherwise I would find myself going in circles fairly quickly. Otto is sent hunting to give the player an excuse to go through a woefully inadequate tutorial, but being it is a severely dumbed-down version of the hunting aspect that one would see in the Far Cry series, it's immediately recognizable and fairly simple to get through. However, even this is not without some difficulty. Now, the game fades your view to a sepia color scheme when tracking, but the sparkling footprints are all but invisible, leaving the player to rely on the game's automatically rotating your character to face in the direction you need to go. But this is one of the small issues that I face with the game's control schemes: general lack of meaningful direction and an overly simplified mechanic that does an inadequate job of relating information to the player. For example, take the orders you're able to give to your character. On the numerical control scheme, number 1 allows you to switch between the troll and Otto. Number 2 has Otto get picked up by the troll and allows him to ride on his shoulders. And number 3 calls the troll over or forces him to stand still. And that is all well and good. It sounds fairly simple enough, very straightforward and effective. Except that you're told once, very briefly, and after that, pressing the buttons gives no clear indication as to what they do. There are mild audible prompts, but somehow it either failed to impart that pressing 3 twice told the troll to stand still, or that the information was delivered in such a way that I failed to notice. I'm really quite unsure which, and I honestly had no desire to go back and check. Now, in addition to that, the over-the-shoulder camera angles are extremely slow to respond, difficult to control, and not enough is shown of the area you're in to relate appropriately the information you need to be able to progress. There are also what I assume to be magical rifts in the earth that the creatures spawn out of. You're shown in a small cutscene the troll throwing a boulder to seal one off. However, the stone you need to find while in-game to throw to close these off was not easily identifiable until I actually knew what I was looking for. Additional prompting on the screen would have helped greatly, as the horrendous camera angling caused me to simply miss it multiple times. The voice acting is passable, but I have to bear in mind that this is a $50 title. This is not a $20 indie game. This is nearly a full AAA price tag. And taking that into account, this game ends up being woefully inadequate in every measurable aspect, from graphics to control to meaningful story to simply gameplay. The game's trailer that it shows is not indicative of an in-game experience whatsoever and was exceptionally misleading, and I would dock, if I was giving this a numerical score, I would dock them points for that as well. Now, by every measurement that I put the game up against, it shows the game to be rather good if it were half the asking price or less. At $50, the game is as insulting as it is greedy, and I would strongly urge everyone to avoid it until the price comes down. At its release price with the lackluster control mechanics and substandard graphics, It's just not worth it. It's that simple. Well, what do you think? Let me know if you consider any of these to be acceptable in a game that asks so much money at launch. And while you're at it, please do like and share. Keep spreading the word and raising awareness. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It helps more than you might think. If you're interested in supporting the channel, links to my Patreon should be on your screen and in the description below. Please do go throw $1 at it. Every bit of it goes directly into the channel itself. Also, links to my Twitter and Facebook are in the description down below. Please do make use of them to stay up to date on new videos and any upcoming appearances on other channels. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and thank you for watching.